let's talk about the reference points. The reference points are also, they're a major milestone of working with the Silva method, because when we go in alpha, we need to go to get oriented in the subconscious world. So what we use is our memory of things. We can't create out of nowhere if we don't have the basis. For example, if you don't know what an elephant is and what pink is, you cannot create a pink elephant. A pink elephant is your imagination that needs to step onto something. So it needs to step on the elephant and it needs to step on the concept of pink. So first of all, we work with concepts that our mind already knows. It knows how to recreate them. So that's why when we go in alpha, when I let you, after we count from 5 to 1, we usually remember this scene where we feel completely relaxed. We call in all of our senses, all of our good emotions. We use a past scene, something that is easy to call up because we have experienced it. We don't need to create it out of nothingness. And that's why we take our emotions from there. So this is a reference point that we use to go in alpha. Every time we do something in alpha, we use reference points. And the more reference points we create, the more we expand our perception of the subconsciousness and we can work with it. An example that I gave you is how the course starts with learning what it feels like to be in a certain type of a metal or in a certain type of a material. For example, the way it's done in the original Silva course, which we don't need to do here because we have a different purpose, but I'm just going to explain. The way it's done is you have to physically feel the metal. Put the metal next to your third eye and experience with your eyes closed. So you have to feel the temperature, the texture, the smell, even the taste. You have to get to know the thing really well. And this is how you create a reference point. And then you can enter inside and feel what it feels like to be inside. So when I'm saying enter, you have to be in alpha first and you use your created perception. This is the reference point. And then you enter and see whether you can recreate the same feeling. So how this is done with people. Every time you want to work on somebody, whether it's health, whether it's a relationship, whether it's somebody you need to get, or you're going to have an interview with, or you're going to negotiate with, somebody that you want to influence in some way, of course, again, using the Silva principles for the benefit of all. What you do is you have to physically observe them first, or recall a reference point of them when you had met them first, if they're not in front of you. But you have to very carefully observe certain aspects of their body language, voice, hear them well, memorize them. This is how you create the reference point before you enter alpha and work with them. So you have to memorize or pay attention to the way they look at you, the way they speak, the way they move, the way they smell. You have to perceive this person so that you can create an image of them, a memory of them in your mind once you're in alpha. The more realistic it is, the better you can work with that person. Otherwise, it's just a vague image. And when I'm saying an image, a lot of people have a difficulty seeing images in alpha because they expect to see it through their eyes. And you're not seeing in alpha with your eyes, you're seeing with your brain. So as a matter of fact, the more you try to see through your eyes, the more you're going to get spilled out of alpha, thrown out of alpha, because you're trying to focus with your eyes. And when you're in alpha, your eyes defocus. You go within, your mind starts to project images. So don't expect to see the way you see through your eyes, right? You're projecting. All right. So you create a reference point of the person that you want to work with. In the next step, we use again the 3-scene technique. And when I'm saying the 3-scene technique, I've told you before that these are just techniques. Even if you change a little bit in them, it doesn't matter. Or if you don't do it exactly the same way. The important is the intention, the belief, the image that you're creating. It's not so much the 1, 2, 3 step. But okay, let's use for our purposes again the 3 scene technique.